I am here today with a special and an inspiring person, a British woman called Jane Austen. She was born on December 16th in 1775. She's known to be quite astonishing in the literature world. She's a writer and she sticks mainly to romantic fiction and has written 6 novels in her lifetime. She made many important changes to the world and society. She is a phenomenal in history of literature. Pride and Prejudice is one of the most known novels, and it's important to say that Jane wants to and thinks it is important to teach people through her novels like Pride and Prejudice that you have let your lover educate you. Each can educate and improve one another in the relationship. Just like Elizabeth and Darcy Bennet, which are the lovers in that story, they balance each other out. Hello, and pleased to meet you. I'm such a great fan.
Hello, darling. Yes, thank you very much. I am flattered. You are so kind.
So I want to start by asking you where you grew up and tell me all about your family.
Well, splendid. I grew up in a small village called Hampshire with my very large family in an environment of open learning, creativity and dialogue, of course. My father is George Austen and my mother is Cassandra Austen. They got married 11 years before I was born. I also have 7 siblings, 6 brothers and 1 sister, my sister was named after my mother, and she has always been my other half.
That is lovely. And so, what is your profession and what inspires you the most?
Yes, indeed, my books are all written out of passion. I am a very sensitive person and I try to be more grateful and understanding. I think that it is very important that people are more reasonable and respectful and less selfish. Also,
You're such an inspiring person that your books are very interesting. Tell me a little bit more about them.
my books represent who I am and who I've always wanted to be. I somehow see the world differently than others do, and I want to change it. I want to change the world, live in a world where everyone are equal and happy, and of course fun.
Yes, I understand. But we talk about your novels and such. You have written 6 novels in your lifetime, and you base them all mainly on romantic fiction. Which is your favorite, or do you even have a favorite?
Exactly, I'm widely interested in romance and I have mostly written about fantasies and beautiful stories about people who fall in love, and I hope to have reached to and helped people understand this matter on my own, in my own way. And I hope I have done it through those sophisticated novels. Expressed that in the most sufficient ways that marriage depends on maturity and education. I write about that in Pride and Prejudice. And that is so important. But it's also important to say that my other novels also teach you that we must not stop judging people, but we have to judge more carefully. I don't have a favorite novel, but if I would choose one, I would have to say Sense and Sensibility.
Excellent. So let's talk about the topic. I think is rather interesting. Are you single, or have you had a partner, or are you looking for one?
Oh, I'm not the type of person to be in a serious relationship. I've never married before, and I don't think I'm gonna be married soon or ever. Although I have thought about it and been tempted about marrying a dashing young fellow, and I know I am handsome enough, but I also think I am a very interesting person. I'm also very shy. I'm a very shy individual, and I do not connect with people in those ways. Although the other day I heard from a lady that the other women are much allow or develop such jealousy towards me and my classiness.
I would not be surprised. You are stunning and quite an eligible woman.
Oh, stop it, you. You're being silly.
So you're known to be a guide to a rather fashionable life and a moralist.
Well, yes, I have much respect for people who are generally kind and generous. It brings the beauty in people. But yes, of course I'm quite a figure, and I was very lucky to be raised in Hampshire in the town of glory. And I'm proud to say that my family was very, very wealthy. And of course I do respect poor people also, or people that are under me.
Tell me how your family was and your education.
Well, I was born in Steventon, but after a few months my mother placed me with a woman that lived nearby called Elizabeth Littlewood, who nursed and raised me for a year. But as me and Cassandra grew older, we were sent to Oxford to be educated by Mrs. Anne Carley. And besides that, my father mainly taught me for important educational purposes. But later on, me and Cassandra caught typhus, which is an infectious disease, mostly characterized by purple rash, headaches, fever, and usually delirium.
That must have been horrible.
Well, yes, it was. I almost died.
Oh yeah, shit. I'm so grateful that you didn't die. That would have been awful.
Yes, well, me too. After that, I was educated at home until I left for boarding school with my sister early in 1785, I recall. But in December of 1786, we had to return home because our family couldn't afford sending both of us to school.
Interesting. And tell us what is so special about your novels, your glorious novels.
Yes, well, I think it is the way that my novels make people feel while reading them, and how I want to see the world that makes them so wildly popular and me such a loved and popular writer, I think.
Great, great. Is there anything you want to tell us for the last time? Give us life advice or wise wisdom.
Well, take money seriously, but don't be too snobbish.
Thank you so much, and yeah, well, thank you for being here.
Oh, it was nothing. It was an honor being with you today. I hope to see you in the future, darling. I express that in the most sufficient that ways that
And tell me all about your family. That is lovely. How great. How great. How astonishing.
Já, sko veiðileyfi.
Excellent, excellent. Excellent, excellent. Það brakar svo mikið í mér.